Hey guys, it's Coach Spins here, and trying something new with our ATO breakdowns. Instead of just sending you the best that come out from each day, we're going to look at the team-by-team playbook, starting with the Charlotte Hornets. And the reason we're starting with Charlotte is that James Borrego does an unbelievable job of adding value to his team with his play calls out of timeouts. You can see their offense in the half court goes from near bottom of the league levels towards the top 10. The most common play he runs, and this dates back to last year, is a Philly or Iverson screen that leads right into a level action, or a pin in for the top shooter and the initiator of this play. This is where Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier have made a killing, and because it's something that they go to frequently, especially late in the game to get one of these two guys a shot, I am shocked that it works as frequently as it does. Another prevalent action is creating a high single side bump. You'll see here Gordon Hayward, the first man up, will always slip that action, followed closely by a ball screen with a man running along the baseline off a screen to exit into the corner. It creates a no-win situation for the help defense. They can either chip down to take away the lob or give up a kick out three to somebody like Gordon Hayward or a shooter cutting along the baseline to the corner. Sometimes, instead of just setting the high ball screen, they'll run it into a Veer action. See here, Rozier comes off, fakes his first screen, and he's going to come back around off of a pin-in from Biombo. Borrego runs a lot of stuff out of a Philly or Iverson type of formation, and one of his favorites is to have it flow into some variation of Spain pick and roll. Because the Hornets have a lot of shooters who are really good coming off of screens and wing handlers, they're able to interchange their pieces and put every single player in a position to succeed. It's an added bonus that this helps disguise their favorite ATO, that Philly one level, which gets Rozier or Graham a shot coming off of a screen. As a built-in counter to their Spain pick and rolls, what they'll do is have the man who would normally come right up the gut of the floor and set that back screen as part of the Spain exit to the corner, changing the look and opening up the lane quite a bit. What's so great about this action is as soon as he makes his exit towards the corner, the floor is spread in the same exact formation as the high single side bump, so it's consistent reads for their ball handlers and creators. Bottom line is Borrego and the Hornets get into Spain action a ton out of timeouts. It's a staple of their playbook, and they're comfortable putting a ton of different guys in the action. They'll have Hayward, LaMelo Ball, Rozier, or Graham be the handlers. They'll have Rozier or Graham, Hayward, sometimes even Cody Martin or PJ Washington even be the raise guy coming off of the Spain action. Their versatility of their lineups allow them to run the same type of actions and move their pieces around in order to get the optimal shot for the team. One staple I've noticed in their playbook so far are quick elbow give and goes that are almost out of a Horns formation, where they'll hit one guard flashing to the elbow and pitch it right back to the initiator. It's a quick, easy way to get downhill, but they have a lot of wrinkles and counters to it for how they move off ball, starting with a blade cut from the strong side corner that it gets attacked upon. The next counter that they'll really have here is a flare screen for the man who makes the pitch. If nothing happens off the flare or the give and go, they'll turn it into an empty side ball screen and play. The Hornets will go to a lot of different actions after hitting the elbow, and they get a lot of traction out of putting different guys in these positions that they play through and running guard-to-guard screens as soon as they hit the elbow. Frequently, instead of going into a dribble pitch, what they'll do is either try to have that guard-to-guard action or mismatch post up somebody like Gordon Hayward, who's going to cut right down the cut of the floor and try to post up his man. If he doesn't get it, it turns into pretty standard Horns action, flex screens, handoffs, just keeping the floor balanced and spaced to create something. What I admire most is the continuity of looks for the ball handlers. Here they'll run that guard-to-guard action, and when it's kept and they don't turn the corner, the read for LaMelo Ball here is the exact same as that high single side bump action before. Corner exit, a shooter raised, and a screener rolling right to the basket. Borrego loves quick, simple actions that aren't really intricate, so they'll do a lot of Veer screening for their two guard lineups. Both Rozier and Graham shoot it very well, as does Gordon Hayward, so they'll plug any three of these guys in here, fake a ball screen for one of them, really only to set a down screen in the middle of the floor for another. Sometimes those Veer actions will create switches, as you see here. Kyle Lowry ends up on PJ Washington, so the Hornets slow down their possession and play through him in the post. That leads us to the level screening actions, the type of movement that occurs above a post-up for shooters and guards who are relocating looking for their shot on the three-point line. They love to do it right to the middle of the floor, where they'll enter to the post and then immediately a trailing big is going to set a flare screen or a pin in that allows that shooter to get open. Sometimes that flare will come a little bit farther from the weak side, setting the screen exactly at the top of the key. Other times they'll run this one particular action, which is a rip screen angled downwards to bring Miles Bridges or PJ Washington to the block. The post-entry passer, usually Terry Rozier, is going to loop around, making a banana cut around the big man at the elbow. Here's the rip screen to the post entry, and then Rozier, the entry passer, cuts into the lane and then right back out on the banana cut looking for his shot. A couple other set plays that I like. First one's a screen the screener for a shooter. This is taken right from the Golden State Warriors playbook, where it's a very oddly angled flex screen into a down screen for a shooter, typically Terry Rozier or Devontae Graham. Next one is tagged by a trailer back screen. You can tell they might be looking for the alley-oop here, similar to a Carolina break type of formation, but it leads into a sprint step-up ball screen. Oftentimes can be turned into a Spain pick and roll, which you'll see here in the second example with this Orlando Magic ATO. The last real concept that I've noticed that they go to out of timeouts are guard-to-guard ghost screens, where they're going to try to run a formation just like that, just rubbing two defenders off of each other, trying to create a paint touch. Most times when they do that, it's out of a 2-3 low formation, where the other three players on the floor are spread evenly across the baseline and into the corners. It's a hard action to guard for defenses because they have to decide whether they're going to create a switch, which oftentimes leads to a mismatch. And the reason for that is that Borrego puts his mismatch handlers, guys like Miles Bridges or PJ Washington, into the formation as the ball handler, and uses one of the smaller guys, a Rozier or a Graham, as the screener.